Hello everybody and welcome to an episode of Cooking with Scree. Alrighty, so tonight I'm making chili. Yay, chili. So just a basic recipe, just something very easy to make. Now, of course, I'm vegetarian, so I'm not going to be using real meat, but you can of course substitute it with your own real meat, or you can substitute it with mushrooms, or just other things. So first of all, we've just diced some onions and popped them in the pan, ready to go. Next up, we're going to cut some chilies. So I've got red and green, I think they're cayenne chilies, these ones. Just chilies in general, just get some chilies. So do them, and then we're going to chop them up, put them in there, and add some spices, and then we're going to brown off the onion and stuff like that. And next we just pop on the stovetop and pop in a little bit of butter, a little bit of olive oil. Just a little bit of olive oil. I don't need much for this stoneware cookware because it's basically non-stick and nothing ever sticks to it. It's fantastic. But we just want a little bit in there for taste and just to help the onions brown off a little bit as well. So we just want to get the onions sort of translucent, and then after that we will add our meat. Okay, next up we just added some capsicum to the mixture. Some roasted capsicum there, just finely diced. Well, not finely diced, just generally chopped up. And then we're going to add some herb and spices. That's the word I'm looking for. So first of all, we're going to add a bit of cumin. I'm going to open the lid one-handedly, holding a phone. So a bit of cumin there. Don't want too much, just a little bit in there. Smoked paprika. And we want a fairly decent chunk of that in there. Some garlic powder. You can use fresh garlic. I'm just using garlic powder because I'm lazy. And again, nice dash of that in there. And then finally, a bit of turmeric. A nice splodge of turmeric in there. So, you just want to do that and get everything just sort of settled down and saute it a bit, get it a little bit cooked a little bit, get the onions a little bit sort of translucent. And then, after that, we will be adding our meat. So, we're going to be adding our meat, or meat substitute in this case, which is corn, which is a protein that's based off of mushrooms, which is kind of neat. You can just use diced mushrooms, in fact. Diced mushrooms work really well. So, this is all coming down. The onion's pretty much translucent. It's nice bit of juice in there. So, we'll add in a nice lump of this. Now, if you're using real meat, of course, it's probably best not to use it when frozen. So, of course, let it defrost. And the good thing about corn is it kind of doesn't really need browning off or anything like that. You know, it's a little bit, it's not exactly like a real meat dish. Just want to break it down a bit just so we can actually get it in there a little bit. And you'll just see it sort of turns a nice sort of brownish colour as it starts to cook. Of course, real meat, you want to basically make sure that you don't put too much in at first. You just want to brown it off, get it cooking, make sure it's cooked through, so you don't, go poisoning yourself or other people, which is usually a bad idea. Unless you want to poison other people, in which case, go right for it. But I do recommend other ways of poisoning people. Food poisoning is not the best way of doing it. There's probably easier ways to poison people. Generally, I like arsenic when I'm poisoning my foes. So, we'll just break that up a bit, pop that in there. And then next up, we're going to be adding some tomato paste and some diced tomatoes, as well as some red kidney beans. And I'm going to be adding some black beans as well. You can add whatever beans you like, really, to it, but just some beans in general. So, I'm going to add the sauces in there now. Okie dokie, so the sauce is in there. So just diced tomatoes and a bit of tomato paste. Now also going to add in a bit of parsley. Now you can use fresh parsley or not so fresh parsley, dehydrated parsley in this case, but it's okay because there is a lot of moisture in there, so it will rehydrate as you mix it round. And that's just to give it a little bit of, soften it up a little bit. Now we're going to add our kidney beans, like so, swoosh around with the camera because I'm holding the camera as I'm doing this, and black beans. There we go. Yep, they're all out of there. Of course, drain your beans before you add them. And then you just mix it all in. Mix everything together. Splodge it around a bit. And you want it to be sort of... You want to basically have a bit of a gravy in there. You don't want it to be dry. Most importantly, you just want a bit of moisture in there, because otherwise it will be just, you know, a bit too dry. So you want it to be a little bit sloppy, but not too wet. You don't want it to be sort of... you don't want it to be sort of like a bolognese consistency. You want it to be more like a just a sort of this consistency, really, just a little bit wet, just moist, basically. I know it's a horrible word and people hate it, but I'm going to use it. With damp. There we go. It's just getting worse, isn't it? So yeah, just mix it all together, and then we're going to cook some rice up for it, and we're going to leave this to simmer for probably about 10-20 minutes. Make sure it's all cooked through. Might add a little bit of liquid to it, just so it's a little bit wet when you're cooking it, just so, because you will get sort of the moisture just evaporating, of course. So you just need to let it cook for a little bit. And what I might do as well is just add a little bit of where am I? Where is my stuff? Cupboard of things. Where are you? There we go. Some fake beef stock powder. So this is really useful to use when you're making corn. So just make up a bit of fake beef stock powder, or just like a bit of stock, basically, because it will just give that extra bit of flavour to this. And especially if somebody's, if you're cooking for people that aren't vegetarian, say, and you want to make something that's relatively not vegetarian for them, you want to make something that people will be like, oh, I didn't know that was vegetarian, then use a bit of fake beef stock in the corn, and it just gives it that nice taste. Okay, we will be back in a bit. Okie dokie, so we are back, and rice is cooked. So I usually just do my rice in the microwave just because I'm lazy and I'm really crap at cooking rice. So we're just going to pop some rice in the bowl. I'm doing that one-handed as well, which is always awkward. Really easy way to do rice, in all honesty. Just you put it, wash it first. Always best to wash it first, just get the starch and all that crap off. Just need to rinse that quickly. Get the rice off of there. See my lovely sink. It's a lovely sink. There are many like it, but this one is mine. And finally, we'll go back to our lovely chili here. So yeah, just in the microwave. So the easiest way to do it is just microwave water, a bit of salt. Wash it out first, and then about 1.5 extra cups of water went to your rice. Just normal ways of cooking rice. And here you can see the chili. So the chili's come up really nice. Got that nice little bit of liquid to it. It's not too wet. I've just added a little bit of cayenne pepper to it, just because I like my things basically to blow faces off. Of course, don't go too spicy. You've got to get your spice level right, because if it's too spicy, you're going to be overspicing it and people aren't going to enjoy it. The spice is there to get the flavour. It's not to make it hot, it's to make it you salivate, basically. The reason you have peppers and chilies and stuff like that is to get your spit, basically, coming in your mouth, salivation. And what that does, it helps activate your taste buds. So when you've got something hot, you salivate more, activates the taste buds, it makes it taste better. It's similar to salt, bringing out flavour and stuff like that. I've also added in salt, of course, as well, for flavouring. So that's all good and done. So I'll turn the heat off of that one now. So best way to serve it, I find, is a bowl. Pop some rice in the bottom, and then we will scoop our chili. Try not to drop it all over the stove top. 2 scoops of chili, I reckon. That will be fine. So you want your chili in there, your rice at the bottom, and then I'm trying to not burn myself and or drop the bowl. Then basically just add some cheese. So I usually use cheddar. use whatever you like, and a bit of sour cream to your liking. You add that there and you mix it all together and then eat it all. So that is a quick chili. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you want more cooking with Scree videos. If you don't, bollocks to you, because I'm probably going to make more anyway at some stage. But yeah, this is basically it. And of course, actually, I should probably do the whole taste thing so people know that I've actually eaten it. Hello. Bloody hell, that's hot. As in hot, not as in spicy. Perfect. It's really good. It's got that nice little bit of afterbite to it. Nice little bit of spice in the back of your throat. Not too hot. It's nice and warm still. Yeah, really good, as expected. But I'd say that anyway, even if it was shit, because I've made it, so I want people to think it's good. But yeah, it is really good. As I said, you can add whatever you like, really. But that's a really easy way to make a chili. And of course, if you want to use real meat, use real meat. If you don't use it. Okay, well, thank you all so much, and I hope you have a good day. Till next time, this is me, Scree, out. Bye-bye. Does. This guy's coming in for a head-on. Don't want any of that. Oh! Oh, that was beautiful! Holy crap, that was hilarious.